So what's it like working full-time as a videographer, and what's it like working in real estate videography in particular? Hey guys, Luang here. Today I'm going to be talking with Kenneth, a videographer and photographer working in Sydney, Australia. And he's done a lot of different projects like doing weddings, corporate, product photography, and most recently he's been doing videography for an organization that primarily covers like real estate, so like showing off houses, showing off properties and things like that. Hey guys, if it is your first time here, welcome to the channel. Here at Luang, I tend to talk about videography, photography tips, and I often have really interesting discussions and do interesting interviews with other creatives. Being an Asian Australian creative like myself, I think it's really interesting to talk to other creatives, other professionals, and kind of seeing their perspective, because I think that every person is kind of an expert at something, and every person has something that they can talk at length about, so that other people can learn from them too. If you think you might be interested in that kind of content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that when I put up a video, you're always going to see it. In terms of how I met Kenneth, he's the ex-boyfriend of one of my close friends. And I remember meeting him for, I think, the first time, and we absolutely hit it off because he likes making videos, I like making videos. This was about 3 or 4 years ago. And at the time, I was getting ready to go on exchange to go to Korea for a whole year. So I wasn't going to be able to do anything with him. But he asked me to write his short film for him and help him with his idea. So essentially I wrote that short film, and while I was in Korea, he was shooting the whole thing. So it was really interesting. That was probably like one of the first times I worked on a videography creative project while I was overseas. So that was really cool, writing that short film for him. In case you're a little bit curious about what that short film was that we created, here's a little snippet.
You're listening to 97.9, and this is Outlet with your girl Kira. That was local artist and producer Kiss My Cass's hit single Flight 119 from his debut album Per Sketchbook. Last week he joined us in the studio and things got real heavy.
Now that you're up to speed with Kenneth and my undying relationship with him, let's see how we go. So Kenneth, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm a videographer, photographer, also a musician. So I work in a media company that has its main clients mostly in real estate. So as a result of that, we shoot drone footage, testimonials, auction videos, house displays, and we shoot photos as well.
So can you tell me about the types of videography and photography that you've been involved in so far in your career?
Okay, so it's a big range. I've done weddings, I've done music videos, I've done corporate product photography, I've done live performances, I've done live events, and in photos I just do basically anything. There's a big range there. It's been a while since I freelance, so I can't quite remember, but I'm open to do anything.
So as a real estate videographer, maybe walk me through like what's a typical day in what you do? How does that process work?
Usually it'd be just like a few photos, maybe a few videos, and if the weather's good, it's not too cloudy, we'll shoot a drone up in the sky. We get some location shots showing off the property, showing off the proximities. So the way we film our videos is that we have an intro, an agent part which moves into the body of the video, and then an agent outro part, and then an outro. We'll start with the agent bit so that they can get the stuff done, then they can move on. They'll say welcome to this property and have a check inside, and then we'll film the house as you would go through a house, as you would go through a property on an open inspection. It's more creating that flow through. So we'll shoot from the front, going in, each room going down, then we'll go maybe upstairs if there's upstairs, to the backyard if there's a backyard, and then we'll segue between the drones to show locations. And then we'll come back down again, and then that's it. Agent says thank you for watching. It's about a 1.5 to 2 minute video, depending on it sounds complicated, but once you're in it, I think you pick it up a bit more.
What's it like to work as a real estate videographer specifically? It's
really OCD in a sense. If there's mess you want to tidy up, if there's colors that don't match up, you will rearrange it. For the most part, it's easy because the clients do clean up the house and the agents do tell them to clean up the house. But sometimes it does get difficult just dealing with how different room sizes. So there's small things like that that just make the day interesting not necessarily frustrating, but it can make it a bit harder to deal with.
When people think of being a videographer, being a video maker, I think the most obvious things that people think of are going to be like film, TV shows, vlogs. So why did you pick real estate?
I didn't think I purposely chose real estate. I was just looking for jobs at the time. We just graduated. At the time, it was interesting. I didn't mind it. A lot of the jobs at the time coming up were of real estate, so it wasn't a very wide selection of things that I could choose from.
So in the work that you do, what are some of the challenges that you face?
I think at the end of the day that we're all human. So when it comes to the agents, while they could be a good speaker, they might not be a good actor in a sense. Filming is very different. You put people on their nerves. If you push past the agent parts, then you got agent management. So that's dealing with the clients, dealing with the information, the files being passed around. And then if we go past that, then dealing with the clients, the tenants, they have to clean up the house. They're stressed as well. It's a big thing to do. I think at the end of the day, challenges is that understanding that each property belongs to a human or is owned by a human. I don't mind the jobs itself. I think the nature of the job is just a bit more difficult when you're driving out to different locations, constantly moving. Yeah, when I go back home to upload the files, or I can meet up with my boss and give it to him. But regardless, it's not after hours, but it is in that sense. And so that kind of creates a bit of a friction between work life and my personal life. I'd say it's an experience to try for sure, but I don't know if I would purposely choose it. Personally, coming home late, uploading the footage, it takes a toll. I don't think it's a challenge. I think it's just learning to deal with it. Because if you go into a job that's real estate related, then you've got to understand that real estate jobs entail like longer hours, longer commitments, And even though we're in real estate, I don't work the Saturday, Sunday, but I might have to. So there is structure in the sense that because Monday to Friday 9 to 5, but there's also a bit of less structure. There's not as much structure because you didn't know what's happening. It's always on the move. It's always changing. Is
there anything you particularly enjoy about real estate videography?
Not with real estate, but with the company, it's not under my structure, so I have something to follow in a sense. So that gives me a bit of peace. I just have to keep up to that standard, But in terms of what I like about real estate, it is structured and I like that. And I think that's how you create a flow. It's storytelling as well, right? So I think if you do it right, and I think we do at our company, I think it's really good to just see it all come together, a story about a house, giving it a bit of personality, rather than just a product,
If there's any other videographers, content creators out there that are inspired by this or might be inspired by this and just want to talk about their story or get in touch, please comment. Happy to hear from you, and I'll definitely continue the discussion. And is there a particular type of video making or photography that you like to get involved with, and why?
I prefer a more human approach to what I do, whether it's music, photos, video. So I like candid photography. So I guess events as well, like weddings. I really love when people smile in the photos, or they're enjoying the moment and just capturing that moment. And I think that's what I personally relate to better.
In terms of the content that you like to create or that you wish that you could create, do you think you're someone that prefers to make like a similar kind of video often, but doing it to a really perfect standard, or do you like to experiment with different projects constantly?
I would prefer to master a few genres than have all genres. But in this market, people expect you to be able to do everything.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're a generalist and you keep improving yourself over time, which is difficult because you're being a generalist, but if you're a generalist, I think you'll be able to tackle all the clients' needs in one go. Like a friend might go, oh, I know someone that needs the wedding done, but you've never done weddings before. But to get that job, to get that money, to get that portfolio.
If there was another video creator or content creator out there, they're thinking about what kind of video stuff do I want to do? Do you think real estate, making videos for real estate suits a particular type of person?
Regardless what you're doing, when you're doing camera stuff, you've got to be pedantic about detail, about organization. And sometimes while we might not be organized or whatever in our lives, we have to be disciplined enough to uphold that in our own work. I think you need to have a bit of experience in either real estate or camera work, because you can pick it up either way, as long as you learn the gear and learn how to use a camera as well. I'd say it's probably not a starting ground. I'd say maybe like when you're confident enough, perhaps you could go for it.
In terms of the stuff that you've been working on for the past year or 2 years, are there any key takeaways that you've gotten in that time?
I've talked about this with you a while, because you always ask for feedback or ask how to manage yourself, and then we give you the feedback. But I think I didn't have that feedback. In some sense, maybe I didn't feel comfortable asking about it, because it made me feel not sure. It's not even about looking up to others, it's about relying on people to make you get better, and then you can teach them to get better. It's like this continuous circle. Ask your friends, and even friends that maybe don't have the background. At the end of the day, it's people who don't have the background. Consumers are watching a video, and if they like it, then if they don't like it, then you should ask them, why don't they like it? How can I improve? But I wish I had more feedback and more connections, created more connections to ask these things.
When are you most happy?
What I love most about seeing my projects at the end is seeing how much I've improved. So if I watch a project video from like 3 years ago, and then one from like 1 month ago, I know I've gotten better. Personally, for vlogging or for like whatever I do on my own spare time, I just love watching back the moments I make with my friends. And so if I am able to capture that moment and just, like I said, frame it in a time period, then that's great. So that's like, I created this piece and now I can look back on it for generations to come. I think I'm a simple person, so I really just want to kick back as long as my friends are there. It's happy, because it's just being with your friends, or being like I spent so much time with my sister just being stupid. I just like being stupid. And if I capture that moment, then like, bro, you got like an unlimited supply of laughter.
Do you have any like life motto or like something you try to live by?
I think this applies to everything, just like relationships, works. You just try your best and just keep it simple. You shouldn't overcomplicate it in your head. Because I do that often too. If I start overthinking, then the job quality goes down. I'm stressed on the job. I'm stressed back home. If I just tell myself, hey, it's okay. Like, let's just do the job. Just take things one by one. Just know what is now and just do your best to adapt to it.
If there was something that you could do like every day, what would that thing be?
Definitely just make music.
Yeah?
I would. Because initially I want to be a music composer. I want to be like Hans Zimmer. I want to write scores. I want to make music. And then now, like if I could have a studio, play music with my friends in ISO, Like if I could stay in the studio and if I had a studio, just keep making music, I'll do that for sure. Because then I don't have to be a professional videographer. I can just shoot music videos for myself and I'll be happy. At the end of the day, while I enjoy videography and photography, I really enjoy making music the most.
Thanks so much guys for watching that video. I think that was a really interesting hearing Kenneth's kind of perspective of working as a full-time videographer, working in the real estate area and what he's kind of learned in those couple of years. I think one of the most interesting things that he mentioned was talking about that key takeaway that, feedback's important. Talking to people, showing people. And it's not just about, showing other professionals your work, because they're going to criticize different things, but showing normal people your work, because normal people are most likely going to be the audience for what you do. A normal person is not going to know if there was ISO noise or ISO grain, for example, but a normal person might not particularly like a very cinematic look that you think and other professionals think looks fantastic. I think it's really interesting to remember that feedback is important from a variety of sources, and your audience is probably going to be the type of person that you might want to get feedback from. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell as I mentioned. If you were particularly inspired by Kenneth's story, if there's anything that came to your mind while you were watching that video, please comment what you thought. Please let us know if you're a videographer yourself, what you're going through right now, and we'd love to hear from you and continue to keep on the discussion. Thanks again, and I hope to see you guys next time.